Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we'll be doing a flip card animation, and on each side of this card there will be an option to write some text. And there are a few videos out there that shows how to do this in React Native, but this video will be a little different since I'm going to be using the hooks syntax, and also we're going to have the ability to write some text on each side of this card, and that can be a little tricky. So yeah, hang on tight for this video. On the right side you can see the final app. So here I have a front, I can write something and I can flip it, and on the back I can also write something, and yeah, it's working pretty well. And yeah, I'm gonna show you how I alright everyone, so I've cleaned out the file. I'm gonna show you how I managed to implement this flip card animation. So I don't think it's too difficult, but there are a few tricky points that you will see when I start implementing this. Alright, so for our card here, we are gonna have two sides, right? We're gonna have a front and a back. So I'm gonna start out by creating the component for this card. So I'm gonna switch over to flip card, and in here I'm gonna be creating my implementation. And I'm just gonna use some predefined components here from React Native paper. You can just use a view or your own style, it doesn't matter. I just want to have a very basic card here. So inside this card I'm gonna have some content, and in here I'm gonna have a title, and that's gonna be a title that I pass as a prop here. So let me just define the props real quickly. So type props, I'm gonna have a title, add it here, destructure it here, okay? And then I'm gonna have a text input. Cool. Now that's it for now, I guess. Actually, let me just apply a little bit of styling here. So I'm going to define a variable called styles, and I'm going to create a style sheet, and I'm gonna put the width of my card to 400 and also the height to, oh sorry, not 400, 200, and that should be it. Let me just add this styles.card. Alright, awesome. Now inside my word component here, let me try to render two of those cards. Alright, we have two cards here now. That's looking okay. let's add a little bit more in here on my word page. So instead of having a view, I'm actually gonna wrap everything in a keyboard avoiding view. And the reason for this is because I'm gonna want to be able to type into these cards here some different text. So for that to align well, I need the keyboard avoiding view. Alright, and I'm gonna put the behavior, since I'm on iOS, to padding for now. Cool. I'm also in here, I will create a styles object, and I'm gonna first define a container, which is gonna be flex1, justify content center, and align item center. This is basically gonna center everything. So if I add this to my keyboard avoiding view, stuff moves to the center. Alright. Now, as a child of my keyboard avoiding view, I'm going to put another view here, just to make sure that this view is actually centered and not the cards directly. That's going to help on the layout when we click in here to type something. Alright. Now I'm going to wrap each card in a view as well here, and that's because I want to animate things. So I'm gonna turn these two views into an animated view. Alright. And I'm gonna do that in a bit. Now I will add a button here, which is gonna flip our two cards here. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Now I'm gonna be adding a little more styling here, so I'm gonna add one called hidden. And this one is a little special, so I'm gonna set the back face visibility to hidden. And this basically does that when I rotate this card, if I rotate on the y-axis, at some point when I get to around 180, it should start disappearing. And if I put back face visibility to hidden, it won't show the back, which means it will disappear. That was maybe not the best explanation, but you can look it up if that wasn't clear enough. Okay, another one I want to add is back, and in here I'm going to put position absolute, and I'm going to set the top value to 0, and this is for my back card. Okay, so let's say the back card is this one. So for this view I'm going to add style, and I'm going to put styles.back here. Now I can only see one card, and that's because this card is, due to the styling, is now behind, right? Now for both of these I'm also going to add styles hidden, or actually I'm going to wait a little bit just to showcase that it actually matters. Alright, our styles are looking good. Now let's add a little bit of state so we can actually do this animation. So the first one, and the most important one, is going to be my animate variable here, and I'm going to use a userref hook to store my animated value. So in here I'm going to import animated from React Native, and I'm going to access the value here, and I'm just going to put in 0. This is going to be my initial value. Alright, cool. Now this 0 is alright, but now we need to actually be able to change that value, since we will try to rotate these cards. We will try to flip them around. Okay, but before defining our flip function, I'm gonna add two variables here for interpolating our animation value here. Okay, so let's just do it for the first card. I'm gonna call it interpolate front, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna access the animate value dot current, and in here I'm gonna call interpolate, and in here I'm gonna put an input range which is gonna map to an output range. Alright, and I'm gonna want to go from 0 to 180, and that's gonna output, since I'm trying to rotate, it's gonna output to 0 degrees and 180 degrees. Okay, so this CSS or these strings, React Native will be able to understand these and change the CSS as or the styling as needed. Okay, now we can do animated here on our view. Animated, just prefix that, and then in our style here we can add in our styles here. So I'm gonna put in styles. I'm just gonna put an array because I want to put multiple. So the first one is gonna be actually I'll just let me just wait a moment. So okay, I'm just gonna put in transform, and in transform takes an array, and it's going to take an array of values I want to animate. In this case, I just want to animate I want to make a rotation transformation, basically. So in here I'm gonna write rotate Y on the Y-axis, right? Here I can put in my interpolate front. Cool, looking good. Alright, that should do it for the front. Now I need to do a similar thing with the back, but I'm just gonna add the flip function first here. I'm gonna call it handle flip, and what we're gonna do in here is we're gonna access animated and we're gonna access timing, and here I just pass in my value, and then I need to put a duration. Gonna be 300 milliseconds there, and for the value I'm just gonna go to 180, and I'm gonna set use native driver to true, otherwise my editor will complain. And now I can attach this one to my button. So here I can do handle flip like this. Now you can see my flip card is complaining here because I didn't actually add a title. So let me add a title here, call this one front, and this one I'm gonna call it back. Alright, so as you can see right now we're actually seeing the back. If I click on flip, not much is going on just yet. Alright, now let's try to add that hidden style to each of my views here. So here I'm gonna add styles.hidden, and the same for this one up here, styles.hidden. Okay, if I click flip again, still nothing happens, but that's expected. Now let's go up here to my handle flip and make sure we're actually starting our animation. That's quite important. If we click again, we can see something happen there. Let's go back, click here, click flip. You can see that we just barely saw the front there. Alright, but yeah, obviously we need to interpolate the back as well. So the back will move when our front moves, okay? So I can kind of copy paste this interpolate front and then define interpolate back here. I can put the input range to 180, and this time I'm going to go all the way to 360. Oh, sorry, the input range is actually going to be the same, but the degrees down here will be like this. Alright, now I can also transform this into an animated view, and I can add a similar thing here. I can just copy this, put it here, and then change this one, interpolate front to interpolate back. Alright, I think we're getting there now. Let's try to click flip again. Oh, nothing happened. Let's try to go back. Oh, now the front is here as the first item. If I click flip, oh, we are on the back. If I click flip again, nothing happens because we are stuck now. And that is because we just go to the value 180, right? So we can't really go the other way. For that we need some more state. And I'm gonna just add that state up here. It's gonna be is flipped. And I'm gonna make a setter called set is flipped. I'm gonna be using a use state hook here. And I'm gonna set it to initially to false. Okay. Alright. So in order to not always go to 180, we can check this Boolean value and then determine what value we should go to. So if it's flipped, right, we want to go to back to 0. If it's not flipped yet, let's go to 180. Cool. Now we still need to add something, and that's we didn't really set is flipped anywhere. And where do we want to do that? Well, inside this start we can add a function, and basically this function will be called when the animation is done, right? So when the animation is done, we want to set is flipped to the opposite of is flipped. This way we keep toggling this one and at the same time toggling this value. Let's give it one more try out here. Flip, flip, flip. Alright, it's working now. It's working pretty well as well. Okay, now this was the first part of the video, showing you how you can do the flip card implementation. Now I want to also show how you could potentially write some text fields here, because that's not that easy. So first, to do that, we need to go back to our flip card, and we need to make sure we have an unchanged handler for our text input and also a value. So we need to add in some additional props here. Alright, let's do that. So I'm gonna add in value. This is gonna be a string, and I'm gonna have an unchanged handler as well. This is gonna be some, yeah, a string. We won't return anything. And then I'm gonna pass in, actually I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. I'm gonna street structure out my stuff here and then pass it to my text input. Unchanged text value. Alright, and this is gonna be a string. Cool, awesome, cool. Let's go back. Now let's just add one new state variable here. Just gonna call it front, and that's gonna be an empty string for now. Let's add this to our two cards here. Now let's make a placeholder so we can see where our text field is. Okay, now if I click here, I can start typing stuff, and if you noticed, my screen also moved a little bit, and that's why we had this very neat keyboard overriding view here. So we get this one nice and near the center. Alright, now if I start typing, it's working pretty well. If I flip it, I can continue typing. But now stuff gets a little messy here. When I get back to front, I can't type anymore. It's not working. I'm still typing on the back. I am on the back. Okay, this is working, but it's a little, yeah, when I get on the front, I can't really type anymore. And there's a reason for that, and that has something to do with focus. And to counteract that problem, we need another ref, and we need a ref to basically get to our input so we can call focus on it. Okay, I'm going to show you how that makes sense. So I'm going to find a front ref, and I'm going to pass it into my card here. Input ref, front ref. In my card, I'm gonna add, it's gonna add an input ref here. Just gonna put any for now. I don't remember the type. Inside text input, I will pass my input ref here. Okay. Now we have the reference to the two text inputs. Or actually, we only have for one of them. Let's also make a back ref and then pass it here. Oh, it's input ref, sorry. Input ref, back ref. Back ref. Let's go back here. Alright, awesome. Now inside our start callback here, so when the animation finishes, we need to manage the focus. So we can make sure we can type on both sides of the card. So here I want to make a check where I check if it's flipped, right? I want to make sure that I am focusing the front ref. Alright. So here I'm just going to do front ref, current, and then do focus on this one. If I'm not here, if it's not flipped, then I will focus the back ref input. Okay. This should be, oh, let me see. Alright. Okay, we're getting some type issues. Alright, just never mind. Alright, let's just give it a try. Let's see if this actually works. So if I'm here on the front typing some stuff, I am on the front. I flip it. I continue typing, working pretty well. Going back on the front. I can still type now. Cool. And I can still type here. Still type. Alright. Well, it's working, guys. Now, one last thing. As you might have noticed, I'm using one variable here just for the front. So if I want to write separate stuff, so I want to write something on the back that's different from front. Oh, sorry. I can just create another use state variable here. So set back, set front. Can pass it into my card here. So instead of front, I'm going to put in back. And instead of set front, I'm going to put in set back. Now should we have two different values. So if I type something here, oh, it's a little glitchy. I need to go back. Hold on a minute. It seems like I broke the app. I'm not sure how. Oh, it's because I'm on the back. For some reason I'm on the back typing. Front here, back here. Alright, as you can see, I can type different stuff on different ones. But it seems like the initial focus is not on the front. And we can easily solve that issue actually. If we go in here and we add another prop, it's going to be autofocus. I can just destructure that one out and then pass it to my input here. So if I, for the front, put autofocus here to true, it's going to initially focus this card being the front. You can see it's complaining here now because I should make this one optional. Alright, let's go back now, click here, and wow, the front is in focus now. And if I go to the back is focused, and now the front is focused again. Alright, it's working perfect. Alright, cool guys, I hope this video was useful in any way. And if you liked it, give it a like, and if not, I'll see you in the next one, okay? Peace.